Welcome back to the Hearth's Edge, everyone. I apologize for, this didn't go live last night like it was supposed to. And, to be honest, I'm on the Homestead, kind of gets away from oneself every once in a while. So we're going to do it again today. If you're new, welcome. This is part of a 12-part series. We are currently on episode 9. You can find the rest in the playlist. For the rest of you, let's settle in. In fact, come even closer to the Hearth's Edge. My exquisite, magical friends. Whether this is your first breath of the fire, you've been burning with us through every layer peeled so far, I'm Magic Mom, your magnetic guide through the unraveling, where we turn the blade inward into the crown outward. A quick recap of our descent so far. We have already met our mom shadow, forgiven at the brink, summoned some unseen allies with our animal friends, roared out our rage when we confronted that. We've dethroned the people pleaser within, mended our much exhausted healer self, claimed our money worth, and, last time we also reclaimed our bodies as the sacred temples that they are. Tonight, or today, they say, in episode 9, we are confronting one of the most quiet violences: perfectionism. Because after we fall in love with our bodies, we face the inner voice that still says, we're never enough. Let's call our card, shall we? And what approaches? Normally I don't pull reversals, but this time it's the Hermit reversed, besides strength. So I think I'll let that one stand. It applies. The lantern turns inward, and that inner lion may be ready to be tamed. But she's whispering. The violence ends the moment you stop wielding perfection as punishment. An irresistible thought, isn't it? So let's set this blade down together, shall we? My darlings, let's speak one of the most quiet truths. Perfectionism is violence wearing a crown. It doesn't scream. It murmurs. Try harder. Be better. If you were really a good mom, which woman, person, human, daughter, insert here, you would have already, right? And it's the shadow that smiles while it cuts you the deepest. It tells you one more hour of work, one more edited photo, one more perfectly worded response will finally make you worthy. And every time you obey, you bleed a little more of your joy. This one lives in my bones the deepest, I think, with my Pluto and Virgo squared by the cosmos herself. Man, she demands some precision. But my Libra moon is just begging for grace. And for years, I called it high standard. I called it doing it right. Until the day I realized I was slowly murdering the woman I was trying to perfect. Story from the loom of my own unraveling. It's early 2022. This is pre-culinary school, mind you, and all of the things that have happened after that. Life was picture perfect on camera, but behind the lens, I was unraveling. Every Oracle poll had to be flawless, every Patreon post polished, every meal Instagram ready. One night, I dropped a plate. Mind you, just a plain dinner plate, not even a fancy one. It was a dollar store special. But that inner voice hissed, "Can't even do dishes right." And I stood there, shards at my feet, finally heard it. Was it discipline? This was domestic violence. And I was both the abuser and the victim. And that was a turning point for me, my magical friends. I began the long, magnetic work of turning that inner critic into my most devoted ally. And yeah, sometimes I still slip hard. But, work in progress, right? Awareness is key to that unraveling, isn't it? But here are 3 steps I took that may have changed everything for me. It may not work the same for you, but if it does, hey, knowing is half the battle, right? So first, I did what I like to call the perfection autopsy. It's a daily practice. It takes about 5 minutes or so. But when that voice starts its lecture, I want you to pause and ask aloud, what am I actually afraid will happen if I do this imperfectly? Then write the fear. Then write the truth. Because the world is not going to end and your worth is not going to vanish just because you did something imperfectly, right? And then watch how quickly the violence loses its power when it's named. The second practice I started was what I like to call the good enough altar. And it's really simple. It involves maybe a weekly something or other bit of time. Or just randomly set things on it as you come across it. But create one small space in your home, somewhere you see often, and place something deliberately imperfect on it. A crooked drawing from your child, a lopsided candle you made, a photo of you unfiltered, the last loaf of cinnamon rolls you made that you burned. And then I want you to light a candle and say, I release the need to earn my existence. Good enough is already holy. And I want you to say it with every bit of firmness that you possess. And let the critic watch you worship imperfection. It hates that. And, well, you know what? If you can't do shit with a little bit of humor, what are we doing here? Last is what I like to call the Pluto-Virgo reclamation ritual. It's a moon-timed magic, so insert whatever your planetary imperfection is. And then under any moon, whatever it happens to lie under that you happen to confront this demon head on, I want you to write the critic a letter. I want you to say, thank you for trying to protect me, but your services are no longer required. And then I want you to burn it. And as you're watching it burn, write a new contract with yourself and simply say, I choose devotion over perfection. I choose progress over punishment. And then I want you to sign it, date it, and keep it on the altar that we talked about in step 2. There goes another thread. Feel the relief. Take a deep breath and exhale one more time. And acknowledge this as the moment the violence ends and your true devotion begins. Because perfectionism doesn't protect you. It isolates you. And when you lay the blade down, you don't become sloppy. You become sovereign. You become the woman who creates from love instead of fear. And that woman, she is magical beyond measure. From quiet violence to devoted grace, we have laid the blade down tonight. You feel the crown settle on your head. Not the one made of thorns, but the one made of your glory. Because you are no longer performing worthiness, my dears. You're living it. Because you are magical beyond measure. Next week, we step even deeper in episode 10 as we confront our ancestral shadows. Where we meet our mother wound we swore we'd never pass on, and gently cut the cord with love. Your magnetic action this week, my friends, is to choose one thing you've been perfecting and deliberately do it good enough. Watch how the world does not end and how much more of you actually arrives. Your affirmation, and remember to speak it like the magical creature you are. I release the violence of perfection. I choose devotion. I am already enough, and that is my greatest power. From this sacred hearth, thank you, radiant, real, revolutionary you, for walking every raw step of this journey with me. Your courage is rewriting the story for every mama who comes after us. I see you. I honor you. I'm endlessly grateful you're here. And tell the ancestors, oh, my friends, this is Magic Mom from the Hearth's devoted brain. Enjoy your week. Liberated. Travelings. See you next time.